What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026. 2025? That's like old ass news, bro, which means I'm gonna talk about my favorite stuff of last year. I got best albums, best movies, best video games on the way. But before then, we're doing this video, which is the Game Awards. It's the Game Awards. It's the Me Awards. It's the Smiths. That's a band. I'm going to do basically my version of like an award show where I give out categories and nominations and awards to stuff I've liked this year. Is that okay with you? The best games video will be coming soon, but for now we're just going to talk about some of my favorite things in the games I played this year. Keep in mind I'm pulling from like a pool of 25 to 30 games, not like a massive amount compared to some of the other gaming creative people out there who've played like every game this year. I played a bunch of games, sure, but yeah, I don't know, if you're like, man, where the hell's Abiotic Factor, then you come to the wrong place. I have played what I would consider the essentials. So how are we going to do this? So I've got a bunch of categories. None of these categories are in the actual Game Awards. I've got like a handful of awards. I'm not sure exactly how many. I think it's like 10, maybe even 13. And here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you a category. Like, for example, let's kick this shit off, man. First category, the best loading screen of the year. To be honest, not many loading screens knocking about these days because our hardware's fairly good. Particularly the PS5 is quite good at load time. So a lot of the games I played this year didn't even fucking have. It was just like a black screen for like 2 seconds and then the game's done, loaded and stuff. But I was able to find 2 loading screens this year that I thought were pretty neat. So I've got 2 nominations. And one of them won, and the other one didn't. The one that did not win was Arc Raiders. But I liked the Arc Raiders loading screens because they have little funny quips in them that make you go, they're pretty cute. But the best loading screen of the year goes to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I mean, look at them. Art installations. You'd hang this shit in the museum, it'd fit right in. It's beautiful. It makes me excited to see Bohemia and explore and wander around the beautiful landscapes of this game because it's so beautiful, historically accurate, colorful, full of wonder, imagination, creativity, and humanity. It's a lot to load given the engine the game was made on. It takes a minute. So you cycle through a few of these per loading screen, and it's always a delight. They're lovely to look at. They're soundtracked by really beautiful music as well. I love this game. Honestly, for as arduous of a game as it is a comfy ass game, bro. Once you get into the swing of it, it's a lovely time. So that's our first category. Consider that the tutorial. I should have done best tutorial. That would have been a good category. Best tutorial. I didn't think of that. To be fair, though, actually, I didn't. Thinking about it, I don't know who I'd give that to. I mean, yeah. Best boss fight of the year. I should put a sock on the microphone. One sec, just bear with. I'm not here for the pops, man. I realized as I was saying best boss that, pops are very possible. Mic pops, so we can't have that. Anyway, best boss fight of the year. Quite a few really good ones. Plenty of wonderful boss encounters. Loads of really creative ones, different takes on different types of bosses. You have these big set piece bosses. You have these really like intimate standoffs, whether it be through something like a Split Fiction with a lot of spectacle, something like a Hollow Knight where it's a real like rhythmic dance. These are my nominations. First off, Death Stranding 2. With the giant crab BT. This is a late game boss, very late game boss. So many of the boss encounters of Death Stranding 2 had me completely awestruck as to what I was seeing, how this was even real. Kojima and his team, they are absolute wizards as far as technical mastery. They are pulling off so much incredible stuff in this game from a visual standpoint. And the boss fights in this game, lordy lord, they look outstanding. I really enjoyed the ones with Neil and Higgs that are a bit more kind of grounded, but this one was just such an unbelievable spectacle. It was larger than freaking life. It was just a massive, massive beast. Awe-inspiring, gargantuan, definitely had to get a mention. Split Fiction, the one I've chosen is from a optional side mission in the game, and that's the dentist. This is quite a scary looking motherfucker. This is a pretty striking boss. I remember being really taken aback by the creativity and the artistry on display, the direction of it. It was like a weirdly striking, eerie boss design. One of the best parts of the game, for sure. Gotta shout out Claire Obscure for having plenty of great bosses, but the one I'm gonna go with is actually like an early game one called Dual East. Animation work was incredible during this boss fight. Really, really intricate. One of the early parts of the game that really put on display just the amount of talent happening from the boss design, artistically speaking, the sound cues, and just the gameplay mechanics all connecting. Every member of your party at that point having their own kind of personal moveset and style of fighting. It was just a moment that really stuck out in my mind as like we're in business, baby. Have to give a shout out to Hades 2. My favorite boss in Hades 2 is Prometheus. who's voiced by Ben Starr. I didn't fucking realize that until like the third time I fought him. I was like, his voice sounds a bit like Ben fucking Starr. Come to find out, I look it up and yeah, it's him. Lovely stuff. A great fight. Yeah, great fight. It's a big fight too. He has a pretty chunky amount of HP, and I like when he zaps out and you got to memorize his like pattern. Plenty of AoE attacks. Like it feels so intense. It feels so personal with Prometheus, because it's like, you betrayed us. Why are you not helping us beat Kronos? You know, there's like stakes involved in it. It's tight. Great fight. But the boss fight of the year, my number one favorite has got to be from Hollow Knight Silksong. I think generally speaking, Hollow Knight Silksong had the best bosses of the year. My favorite boss in the game has got to be the Cogwork Dancers. It was between a few. This one's not necessarily the most difficult, but this is the one I enjoyed the most because of how creative it was and how much it sort of uses the agility and speed of Silksong's new moveset. You know, this is not really something you could pull off in the previous game, or any game for that matter. This is a very musically driven boss, which I have a huge soft spot for big set pieces in games or levels that make use of the sound and the music, like in Rayman Legends or something. Love that kind of stuff. It's so satisfying to get into the dance and like learn the patterns, and that's what Hollow Knight bosses are all about, but this uses that line of thinking in an incredibly inventive way. I love this boss. I love how it gets like faster as it goes on, so you really have to stay in the dance and just like keep up with it and not let it falter. It's an amazing psychological mental battle as much as it is a physical challenge with playing the game, and yeah, I think this is my personal pick for boss of the year. Now this one's a little tongue-in-cheek. Best personality of the best, like, I don't know how else to put it, like best vibes of the, I don't know. Okay, every game has their own little distinct personality, basically. It's not to do with necessarily the quality of the overall package, but my favorite personality in video games. I don't know how else to put it. First off, we gotta give a shout out to Blueprints. Blueprints has this moody, dramatic tone. It slowly like infects your soul as you continue playing and unraveling the secrets that then unravel this dysfunctional family at the center of it that's toppled by power and politics. It's a really arresting vibe, you know, from the music, the color palette, the maliciousness you discover in some of the newspaper findings and the notes left behind. It's a eerie tone. I love the atmosphere of Blueprints. It is one that was immediately making me curious and nervous and excited, and sometimes the game can feel creepy. It sort of has a lot in common with Gone Home. Wheel World had a great personality. Love the color scheme of this map. This is a comfy one for sure. Clover Pit as well, very funny, but in a more like sinister way. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek and breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Like you could take a shit and that becomes a power-up. Like this game's having a bit of fun with it, and also prodding at the eerie horror escape room-esque tones. This game also had pretty unique conjunction of ideas there as far as personality. And then we're gonna say Donkey Kong Bonanza, another nomination, and just how damn surreal and weird and strange this game. Like Nintendo is so weird. Like Pauline was initially a rock, which is a talking rock that was actually a person, and her voice breaks this purple unbreakable liquid stuff that's not actually a liquid, but whatever, and they sing together, and that unlocks Bonanza mode where he becomes like a zebra. Like this game is so weird. Like this is like a Nintendo game for everybody, like for kids and stuff. Like it's actually insanely strange. Consume Me is a delight. I cannot believe it didn't win. It was really, really close to winning. It's a game that only could have its personality because it's made by one person predominantly. It's one person writing, programming. I think a different person did the art or did the programming. I don't know, but ultimately the vibe and tone and personality of this game is clearly from the mind of its main brain. That it's a biographical game about a girl struggling with eating and growing up and adolescence and pressures and school, and it's very self-deprecating, but it's also extremely funny. The animation and drawing, like when she's watering the plant and the hand goes like through the ceiling and back down. Loved it, man. I think the tone of this game is extremely charming. So yeah, that really should have won, except it shouldn't, because my number one, the best personality of 2025 goes to Promise Mascot Agency. I had a lot of problems with this game, but one thing that always elated me was the sense of humor, the immense amount of bursting creativity in the writing, the character and world design. This thing is hilarious. You're talking to a freaking thumb for like most of the game. The mascots all having such incredibly specific and unique character traits. They're all so bizarre. The fact that every time you join one of the live streams of what the mascot's up to, they're like attacking like a door that doesn't work properly and that's the enemy. Like this thing is so ridiculous. I love it. I think it's incredible. The moments of serenity when you're reflecting back at the HQ, the actual agency, like this thing is so damn funny, and that's one thing I can always give Kaizen Gameworks, whether it be this game or their previous game, Paradise Killer. They have so much fucking personality in everything they make. It wins the Veil for best personality. Next up, best protagonist of the year. Had a lot of good ones. Hinako from Silent Hill F, one of the most deeply human and politically relevant protagonists of the year. She is a young woman with a traumatic background, caught in a love triangle. I think what she represents is very emblematic of a lot of social issues in Japanese history and politics, and that becomes a really strong beating heart at the center of this very moving story. So she was a great protagonist. Milenoi from Hades 2 is a fantastic protagonist with so much determination, and understanding her dysfunctional family dynamics and how she reacts to it. You always uncover new things every single run about who she really is. Gustav / Mael / Verso. I don't exactly know who to pinpoint as the protagonist of Clair Obscur, since it's such a, ensemble cast, but I feel like those are the three that are kind of the most protagonisty. They all get kind of equal leading perspective throughout the game, I guess. They're all amazing characters. I mean, really, this is the best ensemble cast of the year. If that was an award category, I'd give it to them. Hornet is a fantastic protagonist, by the way. I love her character. It's extremely cold and heroic. She will not allow anything to phase her in her path and her quest. And it's really, really cool to play as her. And it feels like, I don't know, like contagious for you as the player. You want to sort of push through because she knows she can. She's confident. So it kind of gives you confidence. Nathan from Baby Steps. Actually a phenomenal protagonist. Genuinely really good. He's pretty pathetic, but given what the game is going for, he's flawless. He's perfect, and he's really well voice acted, uncomfortably so. Got to give him a shout out, but we should all know who's winning this.
I really am very sorry, Master Guardsman. You see, I don't hear very well. Back when I was fighting against those Hungarian raiders, I had a hand cannon go off next to my head. Ever since then, I've been half deaf.
A battle wound, eh? I know how that is. At Nicopolis, my father took a mace to the head so hard his helmet broke in half. And after that, he couldn't hear too well either.
What's that?
I said I know all about bad hearing.
What? Herring? Is it for supper?
Bad hearing. I said I understand.
No, not my hand. It's my ears that are the problem.
Christ almighty. Get out of here. Let's just forget about this.
I don't need to piss. I just went.
Clear off, or I'll kick your ass out of here.
That's right. I damaged my ear. I already told you that.
Henry of Skalitz, Tom McKay, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, show me your wares. I feel quite hungry. This guy's the GOAT, one of the best protagonists of all time. So charming, so delightfully, naive. Oh my god, watching him fail like a speech check is one of the best experiences any game can give you. I actually love this fucker to death. I think he's one of the greatest characters of all time. Like any medium, any fiction, he's the best. Best side character of the year. Rinko, Silent Hill F, a very fragile character, also caught in this love triangle, but she's a bit more jealous and bitter, which adds to the sort of mental turmoil and the walls closing in and the psychological horror of this game. She's a core part of that. Dry Devil from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I could have said Hans Capon. I could have said a bunch of people, but Dry Devil is hilarious and has the worst haircut of the year. Sherma from Hollow Knight. As far as first impressions go, for video games in general, it doesn't get better than seeing Sherma trying to sing a gate open. Got to be one of the cutest things I've ever been greeted with in any game. Big shout out to the map lady. Hollow Knight Silksong is a one-way ticket to vocal stim heaven, I'm telling you, bro. Esquier from Clair Obscur. You fucking serious? You fucking kidding me? What the hell was that? One of the most nuts characters ever. Fragile from Death Stranding 2 on the beach is awesome. It was a tough one. I also love Tomorrow. But Fragile, I was not a fan of her too much in the first game. I thought she was a little one-dimensional, but here I think she's given a lot more to contribute to the overall story and the heart at the center of it and the pain at the center of it. She's a huge part of that, and Leah Seydoux carrying that is incredible as well. She's an amazing actor, and I feel like she was just underused in the first game a little bit. But she was an incredible character in Death Stranding 2. But my number one, my personal pick for side character of the year is Nemesis in Hades 2. I love Nemesis. Her inclusion from a gameplay standpoint is really, really cool. I remember it really threw me. It was a huge subversion because I played the first Hades, so why would I expect when a character drops in to steal one of my build paths? She just walks through the door and takes your shit. She hates the fuck out of you, but is also on board with the mission. But does she hate you though? Yeah, she's awesome. I love how she was voice acted, by the way. So damn stoic and fierce. Since we're on the subject of characters, best villain of the year. Plenty of good ones. Shout out to Istvan Toth, an extremely rude, sarcastic, cruel villain, heartless, unfeeling, powerful man, and definitely one you are excited to destroy. We have Andy Serkis's Renoir from Clair Obscur Expedition 33, someone with a lot of secrets. One of the coolest designs. That fucking beard, his like nonchalant little pose with his cane, like it is a sick design. And again, you got Andy Serkis delivering the vocals. Are you kidding me? That's a recipe for bang. Kronos of Hades 2. Another very complex villain willingly destroyed his family in the pursuit of something that's very seemingly selfish, but there might be more method to the madness, and you can kind of see those layers unravel as the game progresses, and it ends up being a conversation as to whether or not his motives are excusable, and his voice acting is very smarmy as well, which I really enjoy. He's a lot more like punchable than, say, Hades from Hades. Higgs from Death Stranding 2. Bonkers ass villain. I don't give a shit. I love Higgs from Death Stranding 2. I think he's really cool. One of the best performances of the year, easily, from Troy Baker. An insane character, an electric guitar, really whimsical, really psychotic. You're always interested in his next move. Delightfully unpredictable and wacky, and I know he kind of exists just to fill in that like crazy Kojima spot, but I don't think that stops him from being a genuinely fascinating person. Troy Baker can really pull off those layers. He's one of the best in the business for mocap and voice performance, so yeah. However, the best villain of the year, the number one, my winner for best villain, the winner of the Veil for best villain of the year, does also come from Death Stranding 2. That is Neil. Neil from Death Stranding 2. What a fucking villain. Genuinely, the performance from the actor mocapping and voicing this fucking villain is unbelievable. It's an incredible performance. Those cutscenes with him and the lady near the end are just riveting. Genuinely some of the best cutscenes in gaming history. He's full of surprises, full of mystery. He sounds menacing. He's an incredibly compelling villain and provides some of the most visually just arresting moments in the game with his kind of dream sequences. You know, he's sort of the stand-in for Mads Mikkelsen in this game compared to last game, and he was one of the best parts of that game, so it's no surprise that they deliver in this regard again. Next up, we have Best World of 2025, whether that be an explorable space or just the universe the game takes place in. Kasomachi from Promise Mascot Agency is a really great playground for collectathon mayhem, and you can fly your car all over the place, and it looks really cool. I love the kind of VHS scanline-y look it has, kind of comic booky. It's full of character. It's really fun. The Starwood Belt from Citizen Sleeper 2, Starwood Vector, which I'm not done with, but I'm absolutely loving the world building in this game, and that's something that these developers are no stranger to. Citizen Sleeper 1 had incredible world building, but we really expanded the horizons a little bit with this sequel, and every corner of this world, every starship you can sort of warp to, each has its own little flavor. The oppressive, dystopian, futuristic sort of landscape is more tangible and tasteable than ever. It's an incredibly beautifully realized world. Lumiere / the continent from Clair Obscur. I don't know if there's a name for the whole like world. You start off in Lumiere and then you go explore. I mean, it's incredible. It's a world you instantly see, and you want to comb every little corner of it because it just looks fucking crazy. It looks all fractured and splintered and broken. It's like decaying, and you want to sort of see what's left of it, and you can feel the evil festering and lurking and spreading around it at the same time, but it's also just so full of wonder. Azo, Japan. Ghost of Yote, say what you will about it. I got a lot of problems with that game. Found it kind of a dull experience, unfortunately. However, the open world design is really good. It's still a good time to just wander off the beaten path, see what's out there. It's visually unfucking real. Shout out to Australia from Death Stranding 2 as well for being, just visually speaking, it's easily got the best like vistas, like big open massive scenic backdrops I've ever seen a world serve up to me. But yeah, Azo Japan had so much to see and do at the same time. Farloom from Hollow Knight Silksong was just a dream to explore exploration and traversal, and it's like the best part of the game, arguably, other than just the controls and the combat encounters. Like, the game just feels amazing to play, but I loved exploring it. Baby Steps has a surprisingly incredible open world. It's an open world with so much random shit in it that you can't help but be curious about, and all of that random shit, more often than not, leads to a genuinely worthwhile punchline that you have to see, and you can't see it without lugging along this fucking deadbeat Nathan who can't walk, and it's just like a really funny mental exercise. And how badly do I want to go see what that glowing fruit in the tree is? Can I bring myself to try and climb that with these janky ass controls? I don't know if it's because of those controls the world becomes super fascinating or what. Either way, this is such an incredible use of an open world setting. But the best world of the year it's a no-brainer. It's got to go to Bohemia. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. One of the most beautifully populated maps I've ever seen. And there's 2 maps, by the way. 2. Not just one explorable massive open world, there's fucking 2. NPCs, the voice work, the life just breathed into every nook and cranny, every beautiful landscape, every house, village that you come across has something interesting to discover and learn. And it's like just a beautifully made world. Blows my damn mind that this game's even real. It's a gargantuan game and not a fucking square inch of it was overlooked. And personally, I know we've had all these games with incredible art design and beautiful visual styles and massive spectacle games with huge budgets. We have all these amazing games to look at, but for me personally, visually speaking, I think my favorite game to look at this year was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. There's something unmatched about just feeling like you can breathe in a landscape, an atmosphere, seeing the blue skies and the green grass. I don't think any game has come as close to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to really making me feel like I'm out in the wilderness on a walk, discovering, exploring, feeling attuned with nature. There's something therapeutic about looking and existing in Bohemia. It's just a fucking stunning world, and it blows my mind every time I go boot up the game to play some more of it. You never quite know what you're going to get when you play this game. It's always something interesting that you didn't quite expect. Best flavor text of the year. You know those notes that you just pick up in like every game ever? Sometimes you don't read them, sometimes you do, most of the time you don't. Let's be real. We don't read all of the audio logs and listen to the audio. You read them most of the time. Just little distant bits of text that just help build out the lore or enrich the story or world in some subtle way. I personally do make the effort to try and engage with everything the game is giving me because I want to get immersed in the universe of whatever game I'm playing. I gotta shout out Hollow Knight Silksong again in this regard. Like I was stopping to play my little needle to see what would happen every single time when I was walking past an NPC. Every single NPC has a different song to sing to your little needle thing, and that's crazy to me. And they're all very poetic, but they're very reflective of just the spirit of the NPC that you're playing the song with. I could instantly tell whenever I'd find a new interesting bit of text in Silksong that it was attached to a bigger story, and I love that sense of curiosity and intrigue that this game instills within you. Hades 2, much like the first Hades, has plenty of flavor text. You can walk up to a little pillar or something and you'd get like a little glint, and you can walk up and interact with it, and it will give you some historical context as to who built this or whatever, and then Melinui will react to that as if she can hear the narrator of the game, which is kind of weirdly fourth wall breaky actually now that I think about it. When Melenui goes into a new area, she can like oversee it and look at the road ahead, and she'll have like this reaction to it or observation about it that sort of gears you up to go and do it. And I love stuff like that. I don't know, it inspires you. And the salute, I love that you can salute even though you don't really need to do that ever. You can salute just to say like, let's go, we can beat Kronos, and it just adds this essence of togetherness, and just stuff like that really helps you just get immersed into what you're playing. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 had those audio logs of previous expeditions, and that was really interesting. Sometimes those stories can be really touching, really funny. It just allows the game to kind of deepen itself a little bit and entrench itself as something that really does authentically feel lived in, as like an ongoing process. Hell Is Us. Fucking underrated game, man. Not the best combat in the world, but truly as like a puzzle mystery game. This is how I want more games to be designed, to be honest. I loved the way this game was designed. It was very much trusting that you were paying attention to every little thing to piece together these puzzles. So naturally, knowing that that's what this game was pretty early on, I was combing over everything, and this universe is incredible. I love the world of this game. I really hope it gets a sequel or some extensions. Maybe the development team can build this out, because I was so completely just enveloped in this universe, and a massive amount of that was due to how well written the flavor text was. But the absolute winner for best flavor text of 2025, the game that gets the veil, is unquestionably Blueprints. Blueprints knocks the shit out of the park. Some of the most haunting pits in my stomach I felt happened halfway through reading a book or a newspaper in Blueprints, because this is a game where its story is entirely being told to you through notes and newspaper articles and little scribbles and stuff, and like you're just having to infer things, and as you continue to play the game, you can then solve the wider mystery of what was really happening to this family. Why have you been chosen as the heir, and why are you being put through this whole process of solving these puzzles, and why is this person taking this time to like construct this extremely elaborate and inconvenient method of giving you the fucking like, you know, the crown. There is so much political unrest, clashing fucking families and wars, and there is so much depth to what's happening in this story, but all of it is communicated through the flavor text. You can get as stuck into it as you want to. The game's never like explicitly telling you all of it. You have to do the work to unlock this, and honestly, it results in one of the most powerful and moving stories a game has ever told me. Truly, this is such a fantastic narrative, and that's something that I think is really underrated about this game. Next up, we have Best Mini Game of 2025, Best Little Game within the game, and there's been plenty of good ones. We have the fucking combat in Promise Mascot Agency, the card deck builder thing. You know, it's pretty fucking easy. I think I lost about 2 of those in my entire playthrough, but it's damn hilarious just seeing the mascot just get into some weird fucking panic because, I don't know, the bin fell over and you're into like a combat thing. Like this game is stupid. It does get a little bit deeper later on into the game, but yeah, overall it was more of just funny, entertaining little window dressing stuff for me. Zeni Kajiki from Ghost of Yote, the like coin thing. I fuck with that. I want to do that in real life. I love when you play a mini game and you can see like how it works, and just as a game, it's just a fun idea. Like, you know, this is something that I could totally see myself actually doing for real, which I can say the exact same for the next entry. Dice in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is fire. I love this shit. I want to play this for real. You just need some dice. You need to get a whole bunch of fucking dice together and you can play this. You got to scan the hell out of these dice to make sure you're not missing like a bit of points, and you're hoping that your opposition doesn't get lucky and score some crazy shit. And it's a bit of like a, do I want to risk it? There's like a risk element, but there's also a big luck element. I think it's such a fun way to gamble. Making lunch in Consume Me, I was surprised by how much depth there kind of was to this. This wasn't something you could do easily every single time. You have to be quite thoughtful about your placements. There's definitely like a learning curve to this. It right away asserts itself as kind of an easy throwaway thing, but there was like a steep sort of thing there. Best minigame of the year is town building in Ball X Pit, or just Ball Pit. You build a town in between your runs, and just as a game in itself, it's wonderful, it's comfy, it's satisfying to watch your characters unlock new upgrades for themselves in your town, and you can customize the look of it, the layout and everything, so you can maximize your bounces. Like, it's just a really strong game. Underselling it by calling it a mini game, actually, but fuck it, it's my video, do what I want. We've got 2 more categories left. Best video game song of 2025. We've had some great music this year from video games, and here are some of my top favorites. I'm Gonna Claw You Out Your Eyes and Then Drown You to Death from Hades 2, which is one of like 3 or 4 songs that plays when you fight the sirens. And when this one comes on, it's fucking on, bro.
Can't stay away, seems every day they keep coming back.
You're obsessed with me. It really locks me into the fight. It's a song that reinforces the idea that this fight is fueled mostly by genuine like anger and hate. It's a banger of a tune, man. It's a good one. School by Coda, which is from Consume Me. I mean, Consume Me's music is really adorable, and the lunch minigame has a very catchy melody attached to it, which I always hum to myself. But that song's 48 seconds long. This track is a little longer. It's adorable. This is an adorable ass soundtrack, man. Call It a Day by Trig and Gusset. I spotlighted this track in my favorite songs of the year video that I put out a few weeks ago. Underpins the misery that's happening amongst this family, like the story of the game, but also the curiousness you have and the desperation you have to solve it all. It all feels like it gets pulled out of you when you reach those in-between day recap screens and this song plays. It's so perfectly timed and well attuned to this particular experience and this type of puzzle game. Next up, we have to shout out Clair Obscur, and if I had to pick one singular track from the Clair Obscur soundtrack, it's gotta be Flying Waters Rain from the Ground. I was thinking Summer Gestural Party, I think that's a really good tune too, or maybe the main menu theme, but this one is just so fucking weird to be in a game like this. Really is emblematic of so many of the things that make Clair Obscur so special. Like this game's tone and personality, it's strange, it's odd, and it just feels so unafraid to be itself. And yeah, I don't know, I can't think of another song from a JRPG that's anything like this. Hold the Night Silk Song is scored with some of the most gentle, beautiful, awe-inspiring music of the year. I mean, Christopher Larkin is no stranger to being the GOAT. Choral Chambers. When I first heard this track, when I first entered that area in the game, I felt like I stopped breathing. this song just took my fucking breath away. It was so magical. It really felt like I was part of a universe I could never possibly fathom. Like, how is this even real? It felt so impossible the moment I heard this song. It was a real distinct moment in my playthrough of Hollow Knight Silksong. I fucking loved it. However, my pick for best video game song is Epilogo by Panico, which is Despelote, the final song used in Despelote. The ending of Despelote, just, yeah, one of the happiest moments of the year for me. A beautiful, beautiful game about never wanting to leave a moment, about a moment feeling like the most important moment of your life. You know, the world's happening around you, people are growing up, things are moving, important things, but the only thing that really makes sense to you in this world sometimes, it can just be contained into one particular moment in time, in childhood. And this game is so beautifully candid in its exploration of that, and I thought this song was such a wonderful way to just wrap up all of those feelings in such an earnest way to send off this game. It really sent me over the edge when I played this game. It was all in one sitting because it's quite a short game, and I just wept. This song and just the harmony of what was happening in the game, the art style, the expression from the developer of the game, and then this song, it was all just a immaculate combination. And it just really had me feeling like, dude, games can do fucking anything, man. One of the most personally meaningful moments I've had with any game this year. I never did the thing, oh, I'm such an idiot, I meant to, when you beat the game, you're given like a link to, like, may have to mail something. Oh, I never did that. Final category for the Vales, the best ending of the year. We're ending the video on the best ending of the year. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I haven't actually ended the game yet, but we've entered that part of the game, and my lord, this shit is fire. Yeah, I feel confident nominating it, just to give it a shout out, because I hear this game ends with quite the bang. But as far as games I actually did roll credits on, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, one of the most thought-provoking and powerful endings of the year for sure, regardless of the choice you make. Despelote is also getting a nomination for everything I said a second ago. It's definitely, again, one of the most powerful, meaningful, and just tears of joy-inducing endings I've ever played. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Say what you will about this game's fucking messy-ass narrative. My god, was that ending memorable. You're never gonna forget that. That ending is insane. The Higgs fight, holy shit. This is like Metal Gear Solid 2 level Kojima mindfuck. It was incredible. It was beautiful too. It was like one of the most soul-bearing things Kojima's ever done. But ending of the year, the best ending of 2025, to be honest, I say all these things about how beautiful these are all incredible endings. Like, you shut the fuck up, please. Any other year, like any single one of these endings I just mentioned could have been the ending of the year. But they released the same year as Split Fiction, and I'm sorry, Split Fiction's ending, I cannot believe it. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen. I can't believe how fucking creative and technically advanced the ending of Split Fiction is. It was like, how do you wrangle these things and make it flow so perfectly? Joseph Fares hit God mode, bro. This final, like, 30 minutes of Split Fiction, my fucking word. One of the most jaw-dropping experiences I've ever had with a game. It might be the single best set piece in gaming history. You gotta play it for yourself. I'm not even gonna show you a sliver of it. You gotta just see it for yourself. So I suppose this might leave you thinking, well, what wins best game of the year? Well, you'd have to subscribe and like the video and comment and support the channel and stick around for my video where I go over my top 10 favorite games of the year. Let me know what you think of these nominations and picks and what you would have chosen, all that good stuff. Let me know what's on your mind. Leave a comment, but most importantly, you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.